cooking, and video games. A fantastic mashup for some of life's gratifying endeavors. From morsels to mushrooms, food has been an integral part of our virtual lives since the beginning. If not snacking in between rounds, then literally in-game. So let's talk about that.
That should do it.
From what I could gather, the first time food was used as a significant component within a game was in the 1980s arcade classic Pac-Man. And they were cherries, oranges, strawberries, apples, and melons. Now, at the time, arcades were mostly dominated by sci-fi style genres that usually involved killing aliens or shooting space debris in one form or another. Pac-Man was created in an attempt to appeal to women, as stated so by the game's creator, Toru Iwatani, and it worked. Whether it was the colorful food or the gameplay of Pac-Man that initially drew women into the arcades to spend their hard-earned quarters, only they could tell you. But from then on, food became a prominent staple in games as we know it. Which makes sense. Food is a universal language, reminding us of time spent with friends or family, around dinner tables in restaurants, forgotten conversations and laughter. It's also visually appealing and easily recognizable, which fits perfectly into a game that is as much an ocular treat as it is interactive. We can taste and touch with our eyes. Not literally, but figuratively. Our brain can extrapolate these actions and bring a sense of satisfaction or enjoyment. So, the gaming industry took hold of these ideas and ran with it. As time went on, there continued to be an evolution of edible items being used in different ways. Most notably, mushrooms from the Super Mario franchise, where you're granted magical powers after consuming the fungi. In the Castlevania series, you regain your health by mowing down a haunch of meat, usually hidden behind walls or within candles. With Donkey Kong Country, his hoard of bananas has been stolen, so he sets out to regain the golden treasure of potassium. In games like The Sims, World of Warcraft, or Breath of the Wild, you're rewarded with bonuses for growing your cooking skills and experimenting with different ingredients. But, in my opinion, one game really set itself apart when it came to food enthusiasm and culinary magic. Cooking Mama. Originally released in March of 2006 for the Nintendo DS. As the name implies, Cooking Mama is a game where you prepare and cook different meals based on Mama's instructions. It's a delightful game that brought you in with fun wiggling icons and menu tabs, satisfying sound effects, old-timey upbeat saloon music, a bright color palette, and the veritable cherry on top. DS was the first Nintendo platform to utilize touchscreens, so you could actually chop, slice, peel, sear, and flip burgers by touching the bottom screen. Cooking Mama went on to produce 9 other titles of a similar version, as well as 4 spin-offs branching out to gardening, camping, babysitting, and crafting. But more to the point, with the success of Cooking Mama came a plethora of cooking simulators, once again proving that food and video games were as synonymous as peanut butter and jelly. Which leads us to our next evolution. Anthropomorphism, which is the attribution of human characteristics or behavior to an animal, object, or god, and in our case, food. This is not a new idea. It's a method for making our brains care about things on a deeper level than we normally would, and in some cases, it can be a coping mechanism. We've been doing this for a very, very long time, especially in our entertainment and media, and video games are no exception. Then, along came I Am Bread is a game that came out in 2015, and it puts you in control of a slice of bread. With its somewhat dark and perverse storyline aside, basically you are a gluten and grain-filled product that is trying to become toast. But in order to reach the toaster, you must traverse across a veritable minefield of an apartment without becoming too dirty or soggy in the process. Now, one could say it's a metaphor for life, or that it's just a silly game to pass the time. Either way, it took the idea of anthropomorphism and made you the main character in the process. Regardless of what you may think about I Am Bread, the point is that food has come a long way since its inception, and in some ways it seems only natural for us to keep pushing it into directions that could only exist in dreams. But that's kind of the beauty of video games. It's another form of artistic media that allows the user to experience something they might never otherwise. Personally, when I think of food and video games, my mind drifts to cans of soda on a coffee table, intermingled with bowls of snacks, greasy controllers being passed around as my friends and I fight over who is the best and who is the cheapest character in whatever game was currently our favorite. Or a quick run to McDonald's before hopping into a virtual world to meet up with guildmates for a night of activities. Diving into dungeons and cracking jokes about someone's mishaps within the game. Whatever your memories and attachments are, it's no surprise that food is usually a common thread. And for that, I am grateful it exists both in real life and in pixel form.